at 6 p.m. Oh, we're already starting. Okay.
Shooter ready.
Yep.
Shooter ready. Stand by.
Shooter ready. Stand by.
Shooter, are you ready? Stand by.
Shooter ready.
Stand by.
Ready. Stand by.
I don't know if you noticed, but I like been doing the hot record button lately. That's my thing.
Probably the right move.
Yeah.
I
That
mean,
way
if
we
you're
don't talk
just-
about a bunch of stuff beforehand. You know, it's all
Yeah.
right here, recorded, documented, ready to roll. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us at the Shooter Are You Ready podcast. My name is Midwest Savage, and to the right of me, maybe the right of you, left of you.
Stage left, I think is.
He's next to me on the screen. It's my buddy and your buddy as well, the man with the amazing voice for radio, Macaroni and Cheese, aka my buddy Paul.
Woo, we're back.
Woo, Unc Raider. There you go,
Unc Raiden.
Unc
Get
Raider.
on, get in the pit, and let's raid some Unc. Although we played Marathon for the first time yesterday.
We did play Marathon, and I'm gonna play again later after this. Paul, what has been going on with you lately, buddy? Besides typing away.
Yeah, sorry. I got the loud, expensive keyboard here. Running through a whole bunch of different things.
What are you getting ready for, Paul? What's happening soon?
So we go live tomorrow for Thunder 2026 registration. Practice score is ready. This will go out on March 1st, right?
Yeah, this will go out 6 hours before practice score opens up for Thunder on the Tundra.
Cool.
So you have, this is your notice. Don't
This
give me
is the
that
notice.
bullshit I didn't know. Because if you're one of the 101 people that don't subscribe to this on YouTube or I don't remember our numbers on
Spotify's?
Spotify or Apple, but we're doing halfway decent, I think so. But here's your warning. Don't give me
We're
that bullshit.
So
You know about it.
we're answering a lot of questions on there, which is actually something that I'd like to talk about Thunder 2026, which is something that we'll hit on here in another minute.
Is there going to be a Thunder Discord?
I think your Discord is just going to turn into the Thunder Discord, just with the amount of people that I am bringing onto that Discord channel. I don't want to open it wide open.
We'll have to make another channel.
We'll put a subtext channel and things like that.
A Thunder sub chat.
I just, in terms of communication services, ignoring kind of the problems that people have started to talk about with Discord, where you need to have like approvals and ID and everything like that, which I think we're just going to get more and more to in the online space, where you're going to have to kind of start proving your identity. Which
Two forms of ID.
What was that?
2 forms of ID.
Yeah.
I need 2 forms of ID if you want to be in my Discord. This is America.
I need to see an AK.
Yeah. At least one. And the Lord's caliber, 7.62 by 39. But I'm pumped up for Thunder as always. You know, and you know, my first competition I dipped my toes in, so it's got a special place for me. I love it. I can't wait to sign up and spend money on registration tomorrow. And I hope to see you all there. Don't drag your feet on this one.
And we're always trying to get the match to be kind of bigger and better. So we have got a lot of great people that are lined up. We're already starting on stage designs. We've got all cylinders cooking right now. So I've got a chat kind of off to my other screen here, so I apologize if there are moments where I am distracted a little bit here. I should probably actually close this, otherwise I'm going to be really fucking distracted here. But we're getting a lot of questions on like, hey, can I shoot this? Can I shoot this? Can I shoot this? Can I shoot this?
If you have to ask, it's a no.
I am all so, and this is just advice I think for any match that's out there, not just Thunder. I am all for, if you want to go run your VZ61 Scorpion in 32 ACP, if you want to go run your M1 Garand, if you want to run, a Hakeem or something that's like old school or like a K98, like finding kind of like a local practical rifle match and going out and shooting that there. I think if you are kind of the idea where it's like, hey, I want to be a student of weaponcraft and be good with a whole bunch of different, operating systems, whether that's bullpups, whether that is, older World War II rifles, maybe like battle rifles and things like that. by all means, go out and shoot those. However, if you are saying, "Hey, I want to shoot weird things at majors," I've got a couple of questions for you, and it really all just kind of starts off with like a, "Hey, kind of like what's the why?" Majors are definitely going to be more expensive. They're definitely going to be more competitive, and especially a match like Thunder or AK Masters or KCON or Kalash Bash, where it's like this is really kind of themed around Rock and Lock AKs. Why not shoot a Rock and Lock AK in a division that has people in it, meaning shoot optics, shoot irons, and shoot light, 5.56 or 7.62 39. Why not kind of put yourself to a true test that's out there? I think that at least in some of the conversations that I've had, some folks are like, well, I just want to shoot this because I want to have fun at matches. I will never say don't do that. Matches are supposed to be fun. And there's a lot of great matches that are out there. But if you are somebody who says, hey, I am looking for a challenge and I want to shoot a challenging rifle at a match, I think that you're missing an opportunity for a real challenge, which is when you are at your most optimal. You've got your tuned rifle, you've got a rifle that you shoot a lot, you have an optic that you're comfortable with or a sighting system that you're comfortable with on that rifle, and you're shooting against other people who are also in that tune. The challenge is now not you versus your rifle to finish a stage. The challenge now becomes you versus other competitors to place in a match. And I think there are some people who are uncomfortable with the reality of you might be kind of like top dog at your local club, or like in your circle of friends where you guys kind of go out to the range or have a buddy's farm or something like that. And you're timing each other and you kind of are putting together little stages and you're smoking everybody that you're around.
All 5 of them.
Yeah. Stepping into a bigger pond is never easy, where then you might have to eat a little bit of a slice of humble pie, like we both of us have had to do. So I kind of am really disliking some of the excuses that I've been hearing from folks around like, well, the reason why I didn't do as well at this thing is because of this, and this. And almost everything that they talk about are typically things that they can't control, or they run a rifle that they know is suboptimal, because then they just always have that excuse in their back pocket if they don't do well.
Yeah. Yeah. Excuses. The humbling thing, yes, very much so. You hit the nail on the head on that one. It's a humbling thing, but like you said, it's a Com Block event. I mean, it's put on by Com Block Wisconsin.
Right.
So like, what are you trying to bring something, just be like everybody else. You ain't got to be the weirdo with something crazy.
I think that everyone who listens to this, or at least most of the people who listen to this, have in some way, shape, or form access to some kind of AK style rifle.
Yeah.
That is on the approved list for Thunder on the Tundra, for Kalashnikon, for K-Bash, for whatever.
It's going to get to the extent to where it's just going to be like AKs.
Yeah.
No walkarounds, no cheatings with the, well, this is kind of an AK. No.
And I don't like the kind of esoteric niche lawyer arguments where it's like, well, the M1 Garand, the operating system, the AK is based on that. You have an AK, shoot an AK.
There you go.
If you want to shoot a Garand at another match, shoot a CMP high power match. They're all over the United States at a bunch of kind of like FUD clubs where you wouldn't expect matches to be at. But trying to kind of create these like niche little environments where they don't necessarily exist, I question why we're trying to accomplish that.
I get it.
So, I mean, if you go and you shoot a match, I think all matches are going to probably have similar division structures. So having things like optics or open, like that is primarily where most of the people are going to be competing. And if you are a serious person where you're like, I want to get better and I want to be benchmarked against my peers in a way where I can use that to then get better, you have to shoot where people are shooting.
I get it.
So that's just kind of the questions that we're running through here. I am always open to answering anybody's questions or providing advice, but almost all of the questions that I get asked, unfortunately, I'm going to have to do that thing that people hate, where I'm going to answer a question with a question.
Yeah.
And most of the time, that's going to be just a, hey, what are we looking to outcome here? Like, what are we looking to create?
I'm glad that like there's people like you, people like Sketchy, all you guys that are, you know, in the inner sanctum of putting this together, that I'm not one of those guys. I'm thankful for you. I'm glad that I'm an associate, not an affiliate. Maybe is that the word? To where I get very minimal questions from people I know. Like I don't have to answer emails like you do, because I would be livid.
And I am like, again, this is not me being mad or angry or even disappointed. This is just like, this is advice that people can take or not take.
It's the cup is becoming overfilled, as one would say. As if like okay, registrations today when people are hearing this. To you and me right now, it's tomorrow. But regardless, whatever. So you'll get the first email. Can I shoot this? And you'll happily say, no, you can't. Sorry. You know, you got to shoot this. That same question comes around for the 10th time, you know, from somebody else. And you're going to be like, no, that's going to be like your response. Like eventually, like it's going to get, you know, you're going to keep getting the same headache question over and over again, to where your answers are going to get shorter. And eventually you're going to be like, this is the second time this guy's asked me this question.
So I don't necessarily know that I get to that point, only because of my career. Where
you're a pacifist. You don't shoot people on arc raiders, Paul.
I don't. Yeah. It makes me feel bad. I've never done a bad playthrough of Red Dead Redemption 2 because it makes me feel bad. I'm always kind of
I've shot other people with you in video games, and you're like, I can tell like the attitude changes, the tone of your voice changes, although it's still sultry.
There's a gravitas too.
But you're like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, we gotta get out of here. Oh my god.
Yeah. I'm not one to necessarily do that. But so I've worked IT technology support now for over a decade. Tier 1, tier 2, kind of both across like public facing companies as well as internal. And when you have kind of a large knowledge about things that other people don't have knowledge about, like computers, information systems, like networking, there can get to be a little bit of a Lord-esque attitude that I've seen people in my profession get, where because there is like a magic black box idea that some people have about like can anybody really explain how their phone works? Like from like the handshake that is created out to like the cell tower to how it gets passed through. Like
I know one guy that doesn't know how his phone works.
I couldn't explain
Clay,
everything.
Do you see this?
Well, maybe not how Instagram works.
Yeah.
But there's a little bit of kind of like that black box mentality that's out there where it's like, hey, I just need it to work. Yeah. And then because you hold the keys to that knowledge, some people can use that to kind of get that lord over mentality over people.
Right.
Most of the time when I'm trying to approach a support problem, and you've probably experienced this too, hey, my power's out. Not many people are going to be able to like diagnose like a 220 issue, a 120 issue, or like, you know, some of the, like once it kind of goes outside of the four walls of their home, like how power arrives at their house, they're not going to be able to understand.
Dude, I was going to bring that up. I was going to let you finish, but you don't know how many times, like I work for a substantially sized utility company, right? I've been on jobs where I pull up and there's literally a pole, not standing up anymore. It's in the middle of the street. There's wires everywhere. And somebody wants to roll by in a car with their window down. How long do you think? And I'm like, well, you know, I just kind of look around. I'm like, you're seeing everything I'm seeing. It's not, you know, I'm not just going to go flip a switch. Be like, you're good. You know, it's going to take a minute. Or like the people who like, it's been days on end. And then there's like a gigantic tree in their backyard, just took a whole bunch of shit out. They're like, I don't understand what's taking so long. I'm like, well, you know, you have this 500-year-old maple back here that took out the whole, you know, corner of everything. Like, and they're like, well, and it's like, so, you know, when I first started this job, I was very nice to everyone. I'm still nice to people. I try to be. But there's the, oh, we're working on it. You know, sorry, ma'am. I know it's an inconvenience. Da, 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 da. And now it's to the point where I'm like, somebody's got to be the last one to get turned on. You know, somebody's always the last one, you know,
Yeah.
and it's the truth. I mean, it is. I try to be as nice as I can, but like once they push my buttons of you're taking too long, this, that, the other. But like, there's one thing people don't notice. Okay. Yes, I'm an outside electrician, we'll say. There's been times where I'm at work in the middle of the day, all hell breaks loose with storms, people are out of power, whatever. And I go home after 16 hours and I don't have power.
Right.
Like I don't have special permissions to keep my shit on all day.
Yeah, you're in the service of the community.
Dude, it's the worst.
It's not like, hey, I'm gonna fix me first before I get to you. And I think that we all kind of have in our minds that like, man, I'm having a bad day. I'm gonna go be a dick to somebody.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna kind of take this out on them. But even when we are like what you just described there, the first interaction that we're always going to have is going to be empathetic for somebody. Hey, there's an old lady that is without power. Or
I didn't know if you knew this, but everybody's on oxygen.
Yeah.
Whenever the power, I got my grandma's on oxygen. Everybody's on oxygen. As soon as the power goes out, everybody's on oxygen.
So my main approach and what I try to teach people in my career is that most of the time when you're going to be interacting with somebody who's having a problem, it's one of the worst days of their like working career. Like especially in the systems that I support, it's like payroll might not go out. So like for those instances, like I always from a base level, like I'm trying to be as empathetic as I possibly can. So when we kind of roll this back into the match aspect of it here, I understand that people want to shoot cool and interesting guns at matches with their friends.
Yeah.
Are major level matches the right matches to be doing that?
No.
That's all I'm asking.
I'm going to say no.
And for somebody like you, the answer is probably no, because you're tracking a little bit different than what some of these folks are doing over there.
If it's the one match you shoot all year.
Right.
I get it.
Some people might come back and say, I shoot one match a year. I build a gun for this match every single year.
Yeah.
And I want to make sure that like what I'm showing up with, nobody else is showing up with, and that this then happens.
I get that.
That's great. But build and do all of that within the rules that have been set out for the match. Mm-hmm. That's really all that we're asking for. So go live for Thunder on the Tundra. It goes live at 6 p.m. Central Savage time on March 1st, about 6 hours after you guys are going to be listening to this.
Or within the 6 hour window. But here's your notice. Mm-hmm. Like I said, this is your notice. It is happening. Signups are going live. If you want to hang out with us cool kids, Squad 3.
We are doing the AM PM split again. It's going to look a little different than it did last year, because last year I kind of screwed it up on practice score, where now it's just like the first six squads are AM, the next six squads are going to be PM.
Now, is that both days?
Yeah, and AM, PM, PM. There's no flip.
There's no flip. Okay,
yep.
Just we're ironing out all the wrinkles here. So if you want to shoot early, you shoot early both days. If you want to shoot later, you shoot later both days.
And we're going to have vendors on site like we always do. TBD. We're still working to align what vendors are going to be there, but we're going to have demo bays. We're going to have the challenge bay coming back. We're going to have, it's going to be a little bit different in terms of stage design this year. We're trying to work towards a little bit of a more free flowing stage design, I would say, but kind of like more to come on that. Last year we had like, go to this position, shoot these targets, go to this position, shoot these targets, right. Having it be a little bit more like you got to come up with a stage plan in order for that to happen. So nice. All of these at this point in time are goals. The actual match date, however, is going to be September 26th and 27th in Wisconsin.
Paul, when was that date again?
September 26th and 27th.
One more time, my headset was kicking out.
September 26th and 27th in Ripon, Wisconsin.
All right, we got it. I don't know how much of a notice these people want. Signups are today. There was the date of the event.
So one thing I will say is we're working to, as with all matches, we have to align staff. So right now, the size of the match is determined by the staff that we kind of know that we can get. However, there is a potential that is out there for things to change. So I encourage everybody to sign up for the wait list if you can't get into the match right away, because people do drop out, things do change. We are 7 months away realistically from this thing. So, you know, some people just sign up to hold their slot without actually kind of like having a schedule in mind. So if you are put on the wait list, I actively look at it. You know, the rest of the match staff obviously actively looks at it. We want to get people in there. We want this thing to be, you know, as full as possible, which it always is. We sell out. I think last year was in less than 15 minutes. So, you know, by all means, people, please make sure that you're on the wait list, and we'll try to get in there as best you can. Also, if you're interested in, you know, potentially helping out with the match, you know, if you're an RO or something like that, please, you know, shoot me over a message. You know, would be more than happy to have a conversation with you.
I don't help out. I paced.
Which is a big deal. I mean, and you're wearing a really cool shirt right now, Target Pasters Anonymous.
International Brotherhood of Target Pasters.
Excuse me.
International. And those
Local
are available
4774.
at allday.net. So if you want yourself an International Brotherhood of Target Pasters shirt, visit the store.
You know, we kind of harp on it a lot in Coulda Season 1 of the podcast here, but like the best thing that you can do in a match is paste.
Dude, it's like you have to. I mean, everybody, okay, there'll be one or two, you know, where I'm like, oh shit, we're pasting. You know, I was bullshitting with so and so, but I'm a paster. You know, I've been to many a competition, especially towards the end of the competition, where say you got a group of 10. First stage, 10 people are pasting. Second stage, 9 people are pasting. Say it's 8 stages. By the time you get to the 8th stage, there's 2 people walking up there, and I'm like, dude, what are we doing? Like, come on, get your steps in.
We
segue into getting steps in.
Okay.
Physical endurance is a must at competitions.
Mm-hmm.
I just had to put that up because my guy Bolts and Holes sent an Instagram post that he just was on the treadmill for 30 minutes, which is better than I can do because I despise treadmills, and he burned 460 calories. So get your steps in, stretch them hammies out, be ready to move.
Did he do the 30 for, it's like you're on the incline, so it's like 30 minutes at
I can't see if he's on the incline.
Yeah. Well,
I don't know. But he got his steps in. I can tell you that.
I will say I don't think that you necessarily have to like be like, you know, a Josh a Freilich or somebody like that, where like you're ripped and can bench like 425. Like, but you know, be prepared.
Yeah. Be ready to walk.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you're going to be walking. You're going to get your steps in.
I think pasting makes you do better at matches because you see more of the bay. So you can literally just like, let's say you have to like walk it. You can like, oh, I'm going to start from like the start box, and then I'm going to walk and kind of like not air gun it, but just like you see it more often.
It's a huge benefit if you're middle of the pack, end of the pack, third guy up, whatever, to get up there. Because sometimes you'll be like, oh, I'm pasting this target. And then you'll look around and you'll be like, wait a minute, I didn't see this in the walkthrough. You know, like you said, you get a better view of the whole spiel of things. Like, you know, oh, maybe I should shoot it from here, or maybe, oh wait, this one's hiding behind here. Yeah. So paste. We got to come up with a nice like saying like, don't be a piece of shit, paste your targets or something like that. Something a little more subtle though. You know, erase the hate, get up and paste something. I don't know. We need Johnny Cochran out here. You know, if the glove don't fit, you must paste. You know, something dumb, something that makes sense.
Maybe like a double entendre. Like if the hole isn't filled, you can't. If the hole isn't covered, you can't
call your mother.
No, there's something in here. Get down in the comments and you know, see if
what's your great pasting jingle.
Yeah, if you come up with a great pasting jingle, I'll send you some stuff.
Stash is in the chat.
Yeah. Oh, Stash is in the chat. That's right. If you ever watched us do a little unk raiding, you know, you get the kill, you got to throw the Stash reacts in there, get it going. You just 2 hands, throw them right underneath, and then just brush that thing down.
But so yeah, I can't brag about it or talk about it enough. But the sign up is today. Sign up, get your ass up to Ripon, Wisconsin. Thunder on the Tundra. It's going to be a great time. It's always a great time, and I love being there. And my guy Steve Bemis. That's my guy.
Shout out to Steve.
Shout out to Steve Bemis. That's my guy. He's my number one fan, and I respect and appreciate that guy wholeheartedly. He gave me my first starstruck, not starstruck, but he was like
First fan interaction.
First fan interaction, I'll say. I think it was my second Thunder. He was like, "Are you Midwest Savage?" And I was like, yeah. And he's like, "I watch all your videos, man. I love it." And I was like, "Oh, thanks, man." And he's been at every one, and he's always looking for me. We meet each other up with a nice firm handshake because he's a man. And yeah, shout out to Steve Bemis. I don't know if he's watching the podcast or if he listens, but Steve, I'll see you there, buddy. But Paul, not stepping outside of competition, but dabbling into it. I belong to a local range. Right?
Been dying to get to this conversation,
dude. If you were, I wish you would have been there today. I shot small video. I might make just like a quick 10-minute video on this. Because okay, I went out to shoot IDPA today. I never shot IDPA. I've never heard.
But it wasn't a match, right?
No, it wasn't a match. It was like a qualifier, as they call it.
Okay.
Which is, okay, Paul, here's the scenario. I think, let me look up the numbers. 24 people, maybe.
Okay.
Let's see. Hold on. Let me go to my practice score. Let me go to this. And then our final number after it's verifying I'm a human. 24 people. 24 people showed up. Okay. Not bad. Whatever.
So when you say qualifier, like in the USPSA world, and I think IDPA has it too, qualifiers are something that you shoot either as part of a match or like sometimes they have full qualifier matches where then you get like a rank. So when you hear people called grandmasters because they did well at qualifiers. Right. This isn't that though, right?
No, I don't believe so. I don't know. I've never shot IDPA. I think this is just like it's like a baseline is what it was. All right, Paul, you walk up, belt on, unloaded, right? Target's 50. It's one IDPA cardboard target silhouette 15 yards away.
Okay.
You run 4 strings in this. First, 5 shots to the body.
Okay.
Whatever. Second, strong hand, 5 shots to the body.
Okay.
Third, 5 shots, reload 5 shots.
Okay.
Fourth, 4 to the body, 1 to the head. That's it.
This sounds like an actual like qualifier where it's like, but is what you're saying? This is like you have to shoot this to even be allowed to shoot IDPA at this club.
I have no clue. I don't know. I think that's what they like started it as. Like you have to shoot this in order to like be qualified to shoot these IDPA matches. This is their first time. They've never done anything like this. It's an older fuddy club. I've been harping at these guys. If you've been listening to the podcast, you know, or I mentioned it in some videos, like I've been on these guys for years. Like you got to get off the bench. You know, they're always, we need more members. We don't have people signing back up. And it's like, because all you have is a bench. It gets boring. You know, you're not going to keep reeling them in with the same lure. You know, you gotta switch up the white grub to a chartreuse every now and then. You know what I'm saying? You got to change it up. And so like me and you, we did like these couple little rifle things last year to let some people go out, have some fun. Saw a couple of the same people at this today. So they were started by saying you have to shoot this to shoot IDPA, which I don't think is right, but I could be wrong. I don't know any of the rules.
Oh, okay. So they are because like I've shot some. I don't know if it was USPSA or another Wildcat pistol match, but I've shot one where it was essentially like what you're just describing. Yeah. But they are truly using this to say, like, if you can do this, then you can show up at our matches.
Yeah, I think that's what they were doing.
Okay.
Okay, so there was 4 stages to begin with.
Okay.
All right. There was 2 qualifier bays, and me and you got to talk about these bays later because there's 5.
Okay.
5.5. But anyways, 2 qualifier bays. They split the people up down the middle. 12, whatever. All right. So you do those 4 strings. They add up your time on all 4. You know, this one was this, whatever.
Yep. Pretty typical.
Then you go up to the target. You shot X amount of bullets. They count them all. Okay, he shot it that many times. This is out of the zone. This one's out of the zone. Score it up. -1, -3, whatever. But like today's weather, yesterday, I'll put it to you like this. Yesterday up here in the northern spot of Illinois, 62 degrees.
It's pretty warm.
Beautiful.
Especially for this time of year. Yeah.
Beautiful. I was wearing a hoodie and felt like I needed to take it off at certain points in time.
Ooh. Woo! Say
Beautiful.
less.
Just beautiful. Today, I wake up 24 degrees, right? 24 degrees when I wake up this morning about 8 o'clock, and I'm like, all right, whatever. I'll put a hoodie on.
Yeah.
We get out there. I got out there about 9:30. It starts at 10. I interact with a couple people I knew there. We split up. We start doing qualifiers, and it starts getting windy. Snowflakes are coming down. Temperature drops a little bit because it's getting windy, right? So this is, like I said, their first time. Luckily, Paul, I was there, right? Tablets were confusing people. Scoring was confusing people. They didn't know how to, they didn't know how to do, if you hand a guy a tablet the first time and say, run this match, there's going to be some issues.
Right.
But like with the -1s and the no shots, and they were like, well, how do we score that? I was like, no, that's a procedural. This is -3. This is, I was like, this is how you type it in. I had to run a tablet. No big deal. Whatever. I'm there to help out. I want to see this. I want to see this succeed for my local range here. But anyways, after all that said and done, it took a while, like good hour and a half, at least about an hour and a half to get these 2 groups of 12 through this little qualifier thing. Right. I mean, there's people.
So it took an hour and a half to get 12 people through 2 stages
ish. Because like there's people who have never shot before. You have to explain all the rules to like half the people all over again.
Yeah.
All right. First drill, you're doing this. First drill, you're doing this. First drill, you're doing this. So it was a crawl to get going. Right.
Yeah. Which, I mean, everybody's got to crawl before they can walk. So I can kind of definitely understand that. I think some of my concerns though are like, normally you'd have kind of like a match staff that's out there where it's like, hey, these 4 guys, they're kind of competent in some ways. They shoot a lot of matches. They kind of know like how to keep people going through it. Does it sound like that was there, or was that missing?
Look, I'm not trying to stroke all 9.5 inches of myself here.
Damn.
All right.
It's a 3-hander if I've ever heard of one.
It's girthy. I'm not
We're
trying to say I was
about Taco Bell shits, right?
Yes, I'm not trying to say I'm the most competent guy there when it comes to competition scenarios per se.
Right.
I mean, I was like 8th out of 24, whatever.
But there is this kind of like, hey,
there's a confidence in people you can tell who's confident, and people who are just like, oh, like their hands just.
I think it was Neil maybe the other day posted something on Instagram, or he reposted something on Instagram where he's like, hey, I can kind of tell like almost all I need to know about a shooter by the way that they uncase their rifle or pistol at a match.
Yeah.
And
well, there's the people
100%.
There's the people who take it out one hand, quickly throw it on the rack. There's the people who gently take it out. They unstrap it. They set it down gently.
See, for me, it's like, okay, you take your case.
Yeah.
I put like, if it's this case here, which is a savior bag.
I gotcha.
I always have the rifle point in the same direction in that bag. So then when I get to the range, I always orientate the bag the same direction. So I open it up, and when I'm removing the rifle from the bag, it is always pointed downrange in a safe direction.
There you go. That a boy.
When I see people come to the range, and let's say that you're at a range where you've got tables that are at like 180 degrees from downrange to the range, and they put their bag down on the table, they flip it open, they take their rifle out, it's not locked open, there's no chamber flag, and then they take it out, and then they kind of look around, and then maybe they point at the ground, maybe they point it straight up, and then they kind of walk to do what they do.
Yeah.
Okay, that is somebody who's not considering the 4 firearm rules of safety, or really the people that they're around at all.
Dude, I'll put it, okay, you know what? I will sit here and touch all 9 inches of myself. And I will say, I was, out of the 20 people that were there, a lot of guys showed up full range bags. This is an IDPA qualifier. Full range bags. I showed up. I got out of my truck. I put my belt on. I put my unloaded pistol in the holster. And I had one of them little savior ammo bags with a 9mm in it. I walked. Everybody else is pulling carts. Everybody else has their duffel bags. I'm walking around with a bag of ammo. That's all I had.
Now, I don't want to be like too dogged on like new people.
No, I'm not shaming anybody.
No, but
like I knew what to expect.
Some of the first matches that I've ever shown up to, I brought like 3,000 rounds.
Yeah,
because I was like, I could overshoot, I could miss, and things.
Well, I knew this was a small time, first time qualifier, and I was like, All I got to do is make shots.
Right.
I have my magazines on me, my pistols right here. I need extra ammo.
Right.
That's it. Where like I'm not dogging anybody. I'm glad these people were there.
Did they have a safe table?
They had 2, yes.
Okay, good.
And they were, they, spitting out the rules. Safe tables over here. If you're gonna mess with your firearm, safe. They went through the whole. They read the whole spiel off the list. Whatever.
So they kind of do the spiel off the list. It takes an hour and a half to go through these qualifiers. They're only running 2 bays at a time.
Yes.
Okay. So
Because
what happens? What happens when you get done with the qualifiers then?
Okay. We get done with the qualifiers, Paul.
Mm-hmm.
It's balmy. The wind's blowing.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Snow's falling. People are like, my hands are cold. Oh, let me rub my hands together. They're cold. I could barely load my mags. My hands are cold. I walk over to the other bay with my buddy Ian's dad, who does my tattoos. His dad was there. We're, bullshit. We walk over to the other bay. I see guys walking away with a wall. I'm like, what the hell's going on? Where's he going with that wall? So I asked somebody, I was like, where's he going with that wall? Oh, they're tearing it down. Tearing what down? Oh, they're tearing down that stage. I'm like, we just got done with that qualifier stage. What do you mean they're tearing it? We haven't even shot it yet. It's cold. People are cold. I stop in my tracks, Paul. I turn around, I look at all these people packing up, and I just stand right in the middle.
So they called it?
I stood in the middle of this cul-de-sac. You've seen the cul-de-sac down there.
Yeah.
I stood in the middle and I said, are you guys fucking kidding me? And then they all just looked at me. I was like, we came here to shoot. And they're like, oh, we're cold. And I was like,
are there no true knights among you?
Dude, I said it's because of pussies like you, we lost Vietnam.
Did you?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And I was like, we came here to shoot, damn it. And so me, my buddy Ian's dad, Tom, and
Tom.
Big John, one of the board members, there was still a stage set up, like 2 walls with windows, 6 targets behind it. I just looked at John. I looked at Tom. I said, you guys want to keep shooting? And then John's like, you going to shoot? I was like, I came here to shoot, damn it.
Right.
He's like, well, fuck yeah, let's shoot it. And I was like, all right. And then they're like, oh, you want us to keep time? I was like, I don't give a shit about time right now. I was like, I'm here to have a good time. Like, that's the time I want, is a good time.
Right.
I don't give a shit about stage time.
I showed up to a match to shoot a match.
I came here to pop Zemos and shoot pistols, and I'm almost out of Zemos, But that was it.
So then what happened? Did you
that was
only
it.
wound up shooting 3?
We shot the qualifier. And then me, Tom, John, we shot this stage like 3 different times just because we were making up our own rules. Like, all right, 2 to the body. We all 3 ran it, 2 to the body. All right, 2 to the body, 1 to the head.
Everybody
else left.
Around and watched.
Everybody else left.
How much was this?
It was just free. It was just show up.
Okay.
So there was no skin in the game.
What do you think the average age was?
I don't know. There was guys younger than me. There was guys older than me. It's hard to tell. It was a rainbow of ages.
I really despise when it's like, hey, we are shooting this rain or shine, and I really despise when people are just like, nope, I'm done. I understand if you're just like, hey, I can't like do this anymore or whatever it is. But
if it was me and I was in charge of that, I would have said like, look, I know you guys are all cold. Let's take 20. Go to your car, warm up for a minute, and then get your ass back out here at this time.
Well,
whatever.
So who called it? Like the people who put on this match?
I don't know. Just a bunch of people were crying. Like I think it was one of the other ROs that was there was bitching he was cold, and it was just like it snowballed into everybody else. Just like, yeah, we're cold too. And I'm like,
here's my thing. If you're going to put on a match, you are doing it for the shooters, the participants.
Yeah.
It is not up to you to say, no, we're calling it, it's too cold.
Yeah.
If there are people there that are there to participate, you have to meet them where they're at. I think you have to continue on with the match. You can't just say like, no, you know what? We can't do this anymore unless there are some fundamental changes.
Unless there's lightning.
If it started to lightning, if it was completely like dark out where it's like, hey man, we can't like see anymore. Or if it's like, hey, the neighbors are complaining or something like that, like cops are getting called. If there are things that are outside of your control that are not related to extreme weather.
Yes.
I really disagree with that. And those people let the people who showed up today down.
Yeah. Now, if it was up to me, like I said, I would have said, we'll take 10. I don't give a shit. Whatever. We're shooting this. You know.
No, well, not you need to come out here and shoot this, but hey, everybody take 20. We're going to continue to run this match.
Yeah.
We really appreciate you guys for showing up. If you don't want to shoot the rest of the 2 stages, I definitely understand that it's cold out.
I get it.
But for those of you who want to stick around,
now see
we will be
the argument.
here and we will run you through this so then you can get the score that you earn and deserve.
Now, Paul, I'm a different caliber of shooter. No pun intended. Okay?
45 only.
Been waiting for that one. But no, honestly, like when everybody was like packing up and I was like, are you guys serious? Nobody else is going to stay? Like, I think like it got into like the other group because it was me and 2 guys that were in my group. The other group like was gone. I think they were all got together and they just kept hearing one guy bitch, he's cold, he's cold, he's cold, he's cold, his hands are cold, my hands are cold. Oh my God, my hands are cold too. And I think that was it. I think they were just like, oh no, let's you know, it's too, because I think everybody was spoiled by the 60-degree weather yesterday. You get out there and it's a 40-degree difference today. I mean, and like I had on this t-shirt and a zip up hoodie from Krebs, right? That was it. And a pair of pants, no long johns. I was there to shoot, right? Some of these guys were Carhartted out. You know, I heard a couple people, I got long johns on. And I'm like, then like, what are you doing? Granted, I'm probably built different. I work outside every day, all day. Okay. I get it. I'm different than most of these people here.
Right.
Right. But like you said, like I was the only one really barking. I still wanted to shoot. I was able to somewhat keep shooting.
I'm kind of,
if I could have got like a handful of other people to like stay with me, I would have kept running that whole thing. I would have been like, you guys leave. Give me the damn tablets. These guys want to keep shooting. They're here to shoot. Like WTF.
I kind of agree with the Germans on this one in that there's no bad weather. There's only bad clothing.
Ooh.
And if you
like that.
If you showed up and you were not prepared, you can't take that out on other people,
right?
Especially if you're match staff.
Now, there is a meeting this week. I might like phone in and just kind of compliment these concerns. Like you said, like, hey, look, dude, if people are signing up and they want to stay, you can't just shut it down because
you can't bail on them.
That's bullshit.
No,
if this was paid, I'd have been pissed.
Dude, I've worked matches where I was sat out in the piss and rain in a Gore-Tex suit.
Look at handsome
people still
John.
wanted to shoot, and literally like we were shooting through like the plastic that you put over the targets. We were shooting through that because people still wanted to shoot, and it was not a question of like, are we going to continue? It was like, well, I wonder how many people are going to stick around.
Yeah, 100%. And I think that's like something I honestly need to bring up to the board. Like you can't do this if you guys want to be ROs. You can't just you can't call it because
I know that this was a free event.
Yeah.
But if somebody pays money,
that would have been the big
call
kicker.
It. You have to refund that money.
Oh yeah.
Or at least part of it.
Right. And it's like, don't get me wrong. I mean, practice was practice. I still got out there. I, put like 100 rounds down range, just messing around. Got to bring the Gen 6 out there and shoot it with the Vortex ST optic.
Which I know that you're going to talk about the Gen 6 versus your CZ-P10.
Yeah.
But just like a teaser, you like the P10 a little bit more.
Definitely.
Yeah. Now it's ported.
It is. That's probably why.
There are some differences that go on there, but like we talk about all the time, or like I kind of like autistically talk about all the time, get a pistol that fits your hand. That feels pretty good. For a lot of people, that's not the Glock.
That Glock that I'll compared. This is apples and oranges comparing a Glock to a CZ P10, but the P10 is definitely slimmer. It's got a little bit slimmer fit in my hand. I mean, it's not that I don't like the Glock. I shot it today. I shot it okay. Whatever.
Yeah.
My optics a tad off. I'll fix that. But that P10's got it's something to be desired, buddy. Let me tell you.
I'd like to shoot it.
I think it's the ported barrel.
Yeah, I'd 100%. Like to shoot it. Our buddy Scott also has one. For the cost, I think they're almost the same. Like a new P10.
I think it's cheaper by like $100.
Yeah, and I know that Glock came out with a new mounting system for their optics,
which is amazing.
Which I've heard good things about.
Yes,
obviously. But is it a direct attachment on the CZ, or is it a plate system?
I had to get a plate.
It is plate. Okay, that was going to be my only complaint.
Weird plating system.
I'm not the biggest fan of plates. Like if I can get a direct attachment, everything that I have is
100%.
RMR,
Like
so I'd probably do that.
The Glock Gen 6, I'd say it's direct attachment, and then I'd also say it's not.
Right.
Because you take the actual plate off, that's, part of the slide, but then it gives you like these wafer thin, communion plastic plates. I think I got 3 of them for different footprints. And then it kind of just like seats into the slide, and then you put your optic over it. It's not like a thick, cracker sized plate.
Right.
Like the CZ I had to get a plate, and it came with like T nuts, like a little sleeve with like a flat footprint bottom on it that like went into the slide that my optic had to screw into. It was kind of weird. Never seen that before, but it like, so it doesn't, the actual optic doesn't screw onto the slide.
Oh, interesting.
It's like there's holes cut in the slide to put these T nuts, and then your optic sits on that. It's kind of, it's different. Okay. We'll have to show it to you next time around.
Yeah, I'd love to see that actually.
I mean, from what I shot yesterday, it was holding. It was on there. I mean, I should probably take it off and Loctite them because I hate Loctite. But
proper torque spec.
All in all, the IDPA thing, there needs to be just some discussion at a board level about how that went down. I for one wasn't a fan of how it went down, but like if the consensus of shooters was we're done, fine. But if there's still, besides me and the 2 other people, if there's still 2 other people that wanted to shoot, hey, get over here. We're still shooting.
Right. Especially if it is a paid event.
Yeah.
You have to meet the shooters where they're at.
Yeah. Well, like I said, this was free, so I can't, but like, I have a feeling like if you would have told them people $10 a piece, I think more people would have been like, maybe I will just say it's only 2 more stages, and like, I wanted to shoot. That's like, I went out and bought the shittiest IDPA Black Scorpion setup I could find online.
So then you could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, I put money in this, and that's, that's something I'll bring up too. Like I went and bought this and this just to do this. And then
let's take money out of the equation. It's time.
Yeah.
So it is like, how else could I have been spending my Saturday?
Yeah.
And I'm choosing to spend it at your range, shooting your match.
Right.
I like, even if it like free, we're going to leave, like, whatever. People are still coming because you're putting on something.
Right.
And some of those people might have come from kind of far away.
I will say this. There was a couple people who were not members.
Oh, yep. They're never going to be members now.
And that would have pissed me off.
You just put a bad taste in their mouth.
This. Like, I didn't like that at all.
Oh, this is how you behave?
Yeah. And it's like, to give the other board member, John, that was out there credit, he's like telling him, yeah, we do this and this. This guy, Jamie, right here, him and his buddies put on this rifle thing last year, and hopefully he's going to do a couple more this year. And I was like, yeah, we're thinking about it. And so, like, trying to sell them on shit, and then, like, something like that happens, like, to where, they're cold, so they're calling it. Like, these guys probably, for all I know, they were cold and they wanted to leave too. Whatever. Don't care.
Yeah.
But, like,
I mean, you were probably thinking about it too, but it's just like, oh, no, I still got a couple stages to shoot. I'm going to stick around.
Yeah. Because that's what I was there for that day. Because I wanted to shoot 4 stages.
We made a choice to show up at an agreed upon time to shoot an agreed upon amount of stages. Rain, snow, sleet, hail.
Yeah. 100%.
But then because people got a little chilly.
Yeah.
Oh, now we can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
I think that that's wrong.
I'm not a fan of it. I was a little upset.
I think that we're on the same page with this one here. Don't want to beat a dead horse too much,
right? But
I'd like to hear what the board has to come back with. And I think
drop it in the comments. If you're cold, right? Do you leave or do you stick it out?
But no, it's a personal decision. I would never fault anybody where they're like, because we've been to some K-Cons where it's like it is negative 11 degrees here, and you know what? I'm not going to shoot the night match.
Right.
That is a personal decision. From a match
I get it
perspective.
if you don't want to shoot because it's cold.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying that you have to.
Like you said,
as an RO, you're going to put on a match, you have to be there.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you. Anyways, we got the thumbs up on the date we were discussing.
Hell yeah. Okay.
So and
more to come on that.
Yeah,
more to come on that.
It's gonna be pretty. The bays are a lot bigger than I thought they were. It's gonna be interesting doing the thing.
We can do it.
how to figure it out. I got a couple ideas. We'll talk about it after the fact, but I think it will be pretty sweet. If you guys are reading between the lines, me and Paul are trying to put on a match here.
A match like nobody's ever done before.
It's gonna be fucking awesome.
It's gonna be cool. This is gonna be one that I think people are gonna want to shoot.
Yeah.
Some other kind of things, I guess, not housekeeping items, but we both got a couple of different matches that are coming up here.
Mm-hmm.
You are shooting essentially a spin-off kind of brutality style match.
Yeah, thanks for reminding me.
Yep. So that's coming up.
Yeah, looking forward to that.
I'm shooting kind of a clone rock and lock style AK match in Minnesota at the end of next month. I'm shooting an RPK. I'm shooting in irons. RPK's kind of having a little bit of a moment right now, especially because of all the FRTs that are hitting the market.
Yeah.
I think that number one, there's a lot that's on the market. Zastava has like an offering. There are more kits that are coming into the US. And then just like with FRTs, kind of a light squad automatic weapons, especially things that are in common calibers and, magazine fed rather than belt, kind of having a little bit of a moment online.
I'd like to like dive into FRT discussions, but like the only person I know that's like heavy into the FRTs is Trent, and I don't want to push my mute button that much. Trent, I love you, but he says some off the wall shit sometimes. But there's like a handful of companies, and then it's like it can get confusing for certain people who want to like jump into it, because you'll get like the fanboys of company A, you'll get the fanboys of company B. Everybody will agree company C is shit, but then company D isn't that bad. But then like it can flip around the other way where you get, your company D's and like, A is shit that's made out of this. And I've seen people, so it's gonna be, I think it's gonna iron out a little bit here, like to be like, this is the one to go with.
Well, the barrier for entry for triggers and FRTs is essentially like a guy in his basement with a 3D printer or, a Dremel tool.
Or somebody who's just stamping out thick enough sheet metal. Yeah.
And I think that was kind of the way for a while with AR-15s, like 2004, where like, hey, the ban's over. And then it was just kind of like everybody was just kind of like pumping out AR-15s because there was such a high demand for them.
Right.
And now it's kind of like, there's probably 30 companies that are actually kind of worth going with for like a myriad of components that are out there. But it's like barrels. Yeah, you're probably not going to go with, like Jim Bob's Barrel Emporium. You're going to go with like Geisley, or you're going to go with Criterion, or you're going to go, there's like names that are now recognizable, and there kind of isn't that so much right now when it comes to the FRT space. But I agree.
I think that's
going to iron out.
I've got 2 different ones in that box up there, and I haven't installed either of them.
I think that it's something that's interesting. It's just not something that I think is necessarily like a must-have, especially for like what I want to do. But kind of in some other gear space too. One of the things that I want to spend kind of hanging out here for the entire time.
Oh, there it is. There it is.
Yeah. So I got the Tisha here.
A little Tisha talk. Tisha.
I think it's Tisha. I'm not 100% sure.
Tisha's a girl's name. It's a Tisha, ain't it?
I don't know.
Anyways, Paul's got one.
Yeah, it's the Stealth Additive Works Tisha, kind of dressed up like a Delta Tech for,
it's not one of these.
It's not one of those.
No. Not one of these.
But
what camera am I using? This one.
It's a 3D printed kind of additive can here that takes Plan B mounts, which was almost everything that I run. I'm kind of Plan B for life just because I had a muzzle device work its way a little bit loose when I was at a class the other week, and no baffle strikes or problems with it, even when it was kind of getting a little shaky.
Have you shot it yet?
I have.
How is it?
It lives up to the hype.
Nice.
So this is tuned for shorter barreled 5.56. I went with the Inconel over the titanium because number one, it was available.
Right.
Number two, I kind of like the Inconel cans a little bit more in terms of flash suppression. And I wanted to get this specifically to shoot under night vision.
Right.
It's not a flow-through can because it's not a Huxworks, and they have that. There's some branding that's out there. But it is a lower back pressure can than the rest of my suppressors that I have, which are traditional welded stacks like a Polo K. I will say the titanium is probably a little bit lighter, but the Inconel is still fantastic.
Right.
It's pretty short. I mean, it's below 5 inches. I think it's like 4.8 maybe. But it suppresses them incredibly well. When I'd
like to cut that in half with my Delta Tech and see what the differences are.
I'd love to as well. You should definitely buy your own and go out and do that. But this one's here. So I've shot on a couple of different rifles. It's definitely tuned for shorter barrels.
Okay.
So like on my Mark 18, it's fantastic. This is an 18-inch Zastava M90, and it's probably a little long on here. But
Did you have to
it
change
still functions really well.
what gas setting do you have on that 90 for that?
I only run it on one.
One, huh?
Yeah, but I have actually. There's a guy that makes the 5-position gas pumps, and our friend Jeff has one for me. I just haven't gotten it from him yet.
Nice.
So this is kind of the big, we'll call it Instagram can right now,
right?
Influencer suppressor. For a while there was the cat cans. Before that, Dead Air was kind of having a moment. And, there's kind of always a bell of the ball that works its way through the influencer space.
With the seasons.
Yeah. And sometimes you can get like hey, this is really, really cool. It's new, but it doesn't really like change anything.
Mm-hmm.
I think that this kind of lives up to the hype. I don't have a lot of rounds through it. I've shot it indoors on a 5.56 gun. It's a dedicated 5.56 can where people have come over and asked if I'm shooting 300 black. I've had other people shoot it where then I sat off to the side without muffs on or any ear pro indoors and didn't have any issues. And this was like cinder block walls and everything. And I think kind of the next thing that I'd really like to do is almost like set up a camera or something downrange to see if it's just functioning where it's just like sending all the range, almost like a linear comp or something like that, just straight down. Okay. But from a light review perspective, vibes are right. I think it looks great. Like I got the FDE only because it was available. But like I like my stuff to kind of look dirtied up a little bit.
Was the black not available?
Black was not available when I purchased this. I got this for just over $1,000, and that's with like fees and everything like that. So I think I got a pretty.
Is there no more
deal.
Stamps anymore?
There are stamps, so you do have to go through like the paperwork and everything, but it's a $0 tax stamp.
That's what I was talking
about. There's no more.
Okay.
There's no added cost to it other than your time. So
how long did that take you though?
3 days.
That's not bad at all.
No, my first suppressor that was a paper form was just over 2 years.
I was about to say, you remember the dark ages of forms?
Yeah.
Like where people were like, I've had 2 kids and I'm still waiting.
Yeah. So now, especially my name is pretty unique in terms of like I'm the only one in the United States.
Yeah.
So like if your name is John Smith, it probably might be a little bit longer, but like for me to go through the system, especially with some of the security clearances that I hold, it's not very bad.
Dude, my name is terrible. I hate it. I hate it. There's like them people like, I mean, for you with you get like when they do what check is that? What do they run your background through? What is that called?
4473 NICS.
Yeah, but the NICS check. When like there's people I know who are instant. Like as soon as like, oh, you're good.
Yeah.
Never, ever has happened for me. But I have a very common last name.
I've never had anything. Most of the time, by the time I finish filling out the paperwork, they're like, you're good to go.
Yeah, no, they always call me like 2-3 days later, like you're good. And I'm like, oh, cool.
So just kind of a couple more thoughts on the can.
Yeah.
It's hub in the back, which I think is great that people have just kind of standardized on that. So then we can just kind of like go down to like, one thing. So you don't have to worry about like having a whole bunch of different compatibility issues.
Right.
I think I'm going to recommend it right now.
Okay.
I've heard some things about the company in terms of like warranty and things like that, but they're all from Reddit. So there's nothing really to say about that.
Yeah, grain of
because everybody on Reddit just makes themselves out to be like the hero in the aggrieved party.
Dude.
And then people are like, well, why don't you just like post your emails and we'll see like maybe where we went wrong. And you just see these unhinged morons conversing with like an intern.
Look, I know people
it's ridiculous
to where I'm like, dude, you got Reddit, and there's a handful of people I know where like I deleted it. I couldn't do it anymore.
No, there's kind of no point.
Every now and then, dude, it pulls me back. It pulls me back. Like just the other day on the AK-47 subreddit, which is pure toxicity depending on what day or time you look at it. This dude was like, I'm worried about the wear. I just bought this gun. And I'm like, all right, there's 5 pictures here. I'm sitting on the toilet. We'll skim through. I'm looking at these 5 pictures, dude. It looks like a brand new gun. Besides, like underneath the bolt carrier, there's a little bit of wear. Like it rode over the trigger a few times.
Yeah, where you racked it, which is like
exactly.
which is like the break-in area that you
I'm
want.
like, am I like half asleep to where my eyes aren't working all the way? Like, what is this guy talking about? And like the first comment, somebody's like, "Oh yeah, dude, that's trash. Throw it away. Send it to me, and I'll get rid of it for you." And I just keep reading all the comments, like, "Where's the wear at? What are you talking about?" You know, and I'm like, "Yeah, this is like a brand new gun. What is this dude freaking out about?"
Yeah,
and I get it. Like I've been a victim of being AK-47 shamed on Reddit. Like I've said something or posted something that's stupid and people just hate on me. Whatever. You know, go fuck yourself.
but it's one of the biggest problems that I have is that you never know who's responding to you.
Yeah.
So it could be a 14-year-old who literally has zero experience in anything.
Right.
And they're talking as if they're an expert. And then all of a sudden, because they've flexed off or something like that with their dad's rifles that are all pre-banned, now he's like regarded as some kind of like tastemaker on the Reddit forums.
Yeah. No, I'm not saying there's not people on Reddit who don't know what they're talking about. I'm sure
I am.
I mean, I wouldn't say I'm an expert, but I have experience. And if I don't know something, I'm not going to post a comment or a reply about
it.
Dude,
I'll tell you that I don't know, but also there's probably like better resources that you can go out and talk to.
Yeah. There's definitely better people you can get to get better advice. Call Brad. Get a hold of M26 if you need some solid if you want to be hated on for being told, or if you want to get mad for somebody telling you the truth, give up old M26. You know, we're gonna have him on next.
Dude,
give him a jingle. He'll let you know what kind of a piece of shit you got, and he'll be honest with you.
I've been thinking about him a lot recently because there was a time where I was starting to get annoyed where people are like, well, M26 Lemon Grenade says this. And then we talked to him and he's a lovely gentleman.
Yeah.
And I'm annoyed for different reasons, not because I'm hearing his opinion third party, but now I'm just kind of like, man, I follow him too, dude. Like if I wanted to hear his opinion, I could just text him. Like I'm not like, I want to know what you think. I don't want to know what M26 Lemon Grenade thinks. I already know what he thinks, and I do want to know what he thinks, but I can figure that out for myself. But like, what's the experience that you're having?
Yeah.
I recently saw a podcast that he was on, a competitor of ours who we should fight in a cage match someday, where he went through and he did some rankings and just of like rifles that are out there. And I have to say, I think I agree with him where his top ranked right now is Meridian. So Meridian came out with their AK-101, 103 recently. And I've talked to a couple of people who've gotten the 101. I haven't talked to anybody who's gotten the 103 yet, but just from kind of the pictures and anecdotal evidence that I have, they did a really nice job with these rifles. Like they're looking. I
don't want to spend the money on one, but I want to get one.
I love the 100, all 100 series guns.
Yeah.
I think they're fantastic, but the 103 for both of us, I think, holds a special place. The 90-degree gas block, that kind of like 100 series front end, the folding stock, but it's actually a stock and not the wired thing that they had for like the 74. So it's a little bit more usable. I think they just look stunning. And I think that functionally 103s, I think are just like it makes sense that they kind of like went the way that they did with those guns.
I love my 103. Granted, it's a KUSA, but I love that fucking thing. I absolutely love that thing.
I've heard you talk so much about the 103 for so many years.
I love that thing.
When I go to gun shows or gun shops, I look for them to see if there's any on consignment or up on the wall because I'd like to get one.
Yeah.
I think also one of the things for me recently, I have quite a few 5.56 AKs. There's one right here. I think 7.62 by 39 will always be my favorite, though.
It's true.
Yeah, there's just like, I know that 7.62-39 is maybe becoming a little bit more difficult. Tela is out there though, you know, and it's being brought into the country, and there's still a lot of Tula and other stuff that's been kind of sitting in the back of wherever. I personally would choose to shoot Tela because the Tula and some other experiences that I've had have been a little bit corrosive.
Yeah.
Especially if it's just like, hey, you can get kind of new production stuff. But I just like, even people are like 7.62-39 is kind of this is close to like a similar price to like 5.56. Well, you got to buy one So like 7.6239, especially if you're shooting AK matches and you already have a 7.6239 gun, like why not?
Yeah. It's true. I don't know how else to explain it.
Yeah, it's just like a
It's how it's
good,
supposed to be.
yeah, and like mags, like steel mags or like the bakes that you have behind you, or even like P mags are like really good.
Yeah.
And like Rock and Lock is
Dude,
fantastic. Like I just don't.
as a man of many Rubbermaid totes full of magazines, right?
Mhm.
I remember I went through the, oh my God, that just came out. I got to buy it. Oh my God, look, these are available. I got to buy some. I have plenty of bake. I have plenty of surplus steel. I have plenty of like AC Unity. I have plenty of the plastic Bulgarians, Circle 10s. We can keep going on and on about how many different mags I have. Bake lights and surplus steel mags. Never had an issue with any of them.
No.
They just work.
No.
And like the bake lights are the one that blow my mind the most because they're the oldest ones I have. Not because I've had them the longest, because they are old.
Right.
And I've never had an issue with a bake light magazine.
No. And they're fast too. Like they fit into like everything that I could ever want them to fit into. Like they just work. Now it sucks that they're like $200 a pop now.
Yeah.
Which I'll never understand. But like, hey, if you're getting them, more power to you. But like we could kind of go through like all the mags, but we live in the golden age of magazines right now.
Dude, they're available and like you can get them anywhere. Like we were talking $12 to $100.
Yeah.
And like some like a couple years ago, $12 magazine, get that out of my face. But I've run some $12 magazines that just like the AC Unity mags, they're cheap and they just go.
Mm-hmm. There's the Korean mags. I've got a couple of those Korean 40s.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Is that KCI?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got one of their drums too. I put a lot of rounds through that thing. And
I don't know. I had a KCI drum and I think I raffled it off to some viewers during a live once. Not raffled. I just gave it away.
I just like we truly live where you can get like any magazine from almost any country like delivered to your house.
Yeah.
And to say like, oh, well, like this is a range mag, I think is a great disservice.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, well, it jams on the 10th round every time.
Get rid of it.
Like, I don't know why you're subjecting yourself to that. Well, I want to
Yeah.
train malfunctions. Why would you train malfunctions?
Dude, I remember when I first started shooting and I went to my first KCON, I saw AK Mario throw a Circle 10 mag in the garbage. I still have a picture of it in my phone. I was like, what? And he's like, it's crap, bro. And I was like, that's a Circle 10. He's like, it quit working, bro.
When they quit working, they quit working.
Dude, I was just like, oh my goodness. I was like, look at that. It's in the garbage.
I just don't like, maybe it's because I've just kind of gotten over it a little bit, or maybe it's just because I'm getting older. Why subject yourself to something that isn't the best version that you could possibly get of that something?
Dude, I'm at the point now, like I said, I have so many magazines. Like, what do I got over there? I don't know. I got what the hell is that? An aluminum. I don't like aluminum waffle mags. I'll say it.
I don't know if I'm familiar with them. Can you pull it out? I just want to take a look at it. I know that they kind of had like there was those Russian ones that were like super light or something like that were out there.
1 second.
Hey, I just want to make sure that we weren't getting dead air.
This thing.
Yes. Okay, that's what I thought that they were. So the idea behind these is that the original steel mags for the Russians, they were getting complaints that they were too heavy.
Yeah.
So
don't get me wrong, I think it's light as shit.
Yeah. So what they did is they went and they designed that mag to be as light as a steel mag empty when it's fully loaded. Yeah. So 30 rounds in that mag equal 1 steel mag not loaded.
Well, like,
and I think they did that after they saw, and somebody will correct me in the comments here, but I think they did that after they saw the mags in Vietnam, the American aluminum mags.
I have tried that in 2 or 3 different AKs, and I think it doesn't fit. It's a little bit wider, like where it feeds.
Yes,
like
it has to be because like they had to beef it up someplace, otherwise, and the feed lips are going to be what holds all of that spring pressure.
But I think out of the 3 I tried, like 1 it didn't fit in, and 2 I think it fed in I want to say my Circle 10 maybe, but like the Watts in my underfolder, it didn't like it. Like this is a cheap $10 Bulgarian plastic mag, right?
Yeah.
These are fine.
How much did you pay for that other aluminum one? Do you remember?
It was a raffle win.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So,
of course.
So,
And
well,
like Circle 10, tried and true, unless you're Mario and you just throw them in the garbage. But this is a 40. And
well,
like
they
I've never had
crack,
problems
so.
with these, but sometimes these itself, like as far as fitment goes, it's a bit on the thick side. Whereas back to the Bakelights just slide in everything.
Yeah, they're just
they just work. Like, yeah, they're $100. It sucks. But if you can find a guy on maybe Instagram, perhaps, who happens to do Bakelite raffles, I don't happen to know any names, but it would be like, you know, you could be in Molot Mania if you could find a guy who could do that. You know, you could just have so many Bakelights. It would be Molot Mania if you could find a guy who could do that. But they work, dude, and it sucks that they're expensive, but I get it. I get why. It's one of them supply and demand things. They obviously don't make them anymore. But like, I have these in this plate carrier here. I've got 4 Bakelite magazines that I've got taped, and like I know which ones they are. Those are what I use in competition, and that's it. That's it. I don't use anything else. Those are what I use in competition because they work, and I know they're going to work. Like, I've used this at Thunder a couple years ago, and I think I had a green one.
Did it jam on you?
It didn't jam. I think it, like, the spring hung up in it somewhere, or the feed ramp did, or the plate, to where it kind of like spit more than one round out. But this is what you would call a range mag now, Paul. But no, honestly. But like you said, there's magazines everywhere, and it's not hard to find ones that work, especially when it comes to 5.56 mags. And we've talked about this over and over again. But like, there's no more point in trying to hunt down a decent 5.56 mag for an AK.
No,
because like you can find one. Like, I got one right here on the floor. I got a clear AC Unity, and it works.
Russian waffles, I'm seeing them everywhere from like $80 to like $160.
Woo! But this one's for sale, $150.
I just like for that price, you can get so many more that are out there.
Yeah.
And like, okay, Gun Mag Warehouse, not a sponsor, but
not a sponsor, but we love them.
I go there all the fucking time.
Yeah.
They have those Bulgarian, the ones that you had up where it's like the flat side or whatever.
$14.
They're $14 right now.
Boom.
And so they have some where they're not steel reinforced, and then they have other ones that are steel reinforced. Just get the steel reinforced one.
Yeah, why not? What's that, an extra $2? I think $2 or $3.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think that I would necessarily get like the quad stack mags, like the ATI 60 round magazines. I don't think that I would necessarily mess with those.
Now, see, that's where we get into novelty. That's where we get into novelty over 100% reliability.
Yeah, form over function.
Yes, because like, it might work, but like, I mean, honestly, most competitions me and you shoot, we're not allowed to even bring those in. You know, that's like something you would do at like a local thing, like, oh, this is a hoser stage, let me bring my 60 round in. It's like, dude, you only need 20 rounds to clear. What are you doing?
Yeah.
You know,
I just like, there's a ton of like great mags out here for both 7.62 by 39 and 5.56 that like you don't have to go for, you know, something that is a less than.
Yeah.
Like there's a ton. AC Unity, like there for a while there, they weren't being brought in, but I think they are now. But like X-Tech mags, I don't think that I would touch one of those because I've seen a lot of them fail. But like,
is that the waffle looking one?
Yeah.
And then those ones Tommy's got with the thing on the bottom.
The thing on the bottom, no,
no.
I can't tell you which ones that Tommy has. But like US Paul mags that are out here,
trash.
I think you could do a little bit better than those.
Trash. I own probably 4 of them, and I can't stand them. They're thick as hell. They don't fit half of the shit you got.
Yeah.
They make a great grip. I'll give them that. I'll use that grip all day, but you put one of those mags in my hand, I'd rather do it one by one.
A Bulgarian 30 round steel magazine is $13.
A Bulgarian steel 13?
$13.
I'd rather take that over a US Palm mag any day.
Yeah. Any day.
You can give me a rusty one.
And you can go to like gun shows across the United States, and you're going to find Romanian surplus mags. You can go on Mocus. Like you can just, and we're probably getting a little long in the tooth here with this one, but kind of one last thing to end on. Why settle for something that is not the most optimal version of that something that you can afford?
I get it.
If you can go out there and spend $15 on a mag, why settle for a US Palm when you can get a steel mag?
Yeah. Like this slab side right here.
Russian slab side, yeah.
Boom. Mukas has got them for $15 right now. Hit him up in the emails and tell him that Midwest Savage said he's got slab side for $15. Keep hitting him up till he agrees to the price.
We're sorry, man.
No, they're not $15.
No, that's another kind of expensive mag that's out there. But there are so many great mags that are out there.
Yeah. Let's see here. We talked about how awesome the CZ was. We talked about how upsetting the IDPA was. Not upsetting, just
disappointing.
Yeah. There's gonna have to be a serious talk about that. And you know what? I hate to go to that meeting and be the asshole. It's like, you guys need to do it like this. Like, if this is what you're planning on doing, there needs to be some change here.
I think when you are, and I'll probably have to define this a little bit. When you're a serious person, and then you get around people who are not, it just the bullshit just piles up faster than you can.
That's like me being around apprentices at work all day.
Well, yeah, and it's not. And when I say serious person, I'm not meaning like you never smile, like you're like serious, but a serious
I'm far
person,
from serious.
Yeah, like a serious person is somebody who understands like the situation.
Did you see the Tech 9 video? Was I serious?
That was a great video. But you're serious about, I'm going to put out something that is quality content. You're serious about outcomes. But I think serious people, what I mean by that is, we're here for a purpose.
Right.
Let's accomplish that.
Yeah.
And that purpose is for IDPA, get better with the tools that we're, possibly carrying every single day. It's International Defensive Pistol Association. Defensive.
Yeah.
So
we're gonna run from somebody when it's cold out.
It's chilly.
Yeah, I can't. No, I'm not going to defend myself. It's cold.
We can only finish this fight from around a fire.
Yeah, yeah. Get next to the barrel.
But serious people, when they show up places for events, for work, for things like that, let's get stuff done. We're all here for a common goal.
I think my main gripe when I talk to these people is, like you said, the RO has a certain amount of responsibility to the shooter.
Yes.
To the shooter. People like me, I spent money not to join. I spent money on not going to work on a Saturday when I could have. I spent money on getting the new holster, and I spent money driving out there. Ammo. And for me to not get my money's worth out of that day that I already put money towards was upsetting.
And that's another thing. What I mean,
how do I know I'm the only guy who bought a new holster? 24 people, maybe 5 other people out there had brand new holsters,
right?
And went and bought ammo to shoot what? A box? Fuck out of here.
I think that there's also an accountability crisis that's just going on in general everywhere.
Yeah.
Where it's like people are like, hey, that's not on me.
Yeah.
And then they just kind of abscond from all of like what used to be responsibilities. And then people don't say, hey, you're the match director or RO. I still want to shoot this.
Yeah.
What's going on here?
In the great
well, we're shutting it down because everybody's leaving. No, you have a responsibility to continue to show that this is like a safe environment and things like that.
And I
will the shooters.
I will give credit. This guy Josh stayed and ran the timer, even though it wasn't being timed anymore at this point when it was just me and 2 other guys. He said, "I'll stay and run a timer if you guys want to keep shooting."
Right.
Thank you.
That is responsibility, and that is somebody that you want at your club.
And you know what?
Somebody who's going to hold themselves accountable before being held accountable.
And it's others. Like the words of Wreckaroni and Cheese. We used to be a goddamn society.
We used to have 24-hour Walmarts, dude.
Dude, do you remember that? And you know how many times it pisses me off? Dude, you know how many times it pisses me off when it's like middle of the night and like say I'm sick and I have the sniffles. I need some Theraflu. I need something. I'm stuffy. You can't. You tough it out till 6 a.m. You pussy.
And
like in my town, okay, do you have 24-hour Walgreens or a CVS?
No.
Okay, where I live, we have 6 Walgreens in the area. One of them, one is a 24-hour pharmacy, and it is in the worst goddamn spot in town. None of these other six ones could stay open in a decent. This is one where you're scared to get out of your car at 1 a.m.
And that's always the case.
It's terrible because they don't want you to go there.
The other thing that I really hate is self-checkouts, and I think I'm with the boomers on that one.
You know what?
It's
destroying jobs.
I got horked up at Hy-Vee the other day because they only had self-checkouts open, but now they use this AI thing to like look at what's in your
produce. Yeah,
not even produce, but just like I had like a thing of soup, and then I was scanning some sushi, and like, okay, I scanned the sushi. The soup comes right after.
Nah, you got to put that sushi in the bag first. It's got to weigh it out.
No, literally, I scan it, and then I lean over to put the sushi down, and it's like, what's this?
Yeah.
And it starts looking at the soup that's in my other hand. I was like, I haven't scanned it yet.
That shit gets hardcore. Like if I put like some broccoli in a produce bag and it's like, please put on the thing to weigh it. And like as soon as I put it on there, it shows me the picture. Is this broccoli? And I'm like, oh,
if you
clever girl.
If you wanted people to stop stealing from your stores,
yeah,
get rid of self-checkouts.
Nobody's running out of there with broccoli.
It's just ridiculous. But that goes back to the accountability crisis that I'm talking about.
Yeah,
where it's just like, hey, we're a store. We're going to offload this completely and put this on you. So then you have to take a shit ton more time. I mean, to like check out, there's a grocery store I don't go to anymore because they have 3 little bag areas, like 3 little plastic bags. And then when you fill those, if you're like, well, I don't have any place else to go with my groceries, so I'm just going to like take that and put it back into my cart. It's like, nope, you got to get the little person over here.
Yeah,
that person runs the pharmacy, runs the front desk, runs the liquor counter, runs this, and there's like one person staffed in an entire store.
Yeah,
really. Or like you can't get a 16-year-old to pay $10 an hour.
If you go to the self-checkout, try to buy yourself some Voodoo Rangers, you got to stand there and wait till somebody comes by and looks at you and goes, "Yeah, you're old enough."
I don't understand why they don't just have the technology where it's just like you can just like scan your ID and it's fine.
Oh, then you're gonna stir up a whole other argument with people. Oh, you're scanning my ID. Now they know where I'm at. Now they know where I'm at.
But they already scanned your ID, don't they?
For what?
For alcohol?
No.
Or do they just punch it in for you?
Most of the time, they just look at me and go, "You're definitely old enough."
Oh, okay.
And then they just hit the button.
I think for mine,
you're in Wisconsin. I thought they just like mail you guys coupons for free tall boys.
I mean, they do.
Yeah,
but I don't know. They're kind of ornery about.
It's Flag Day. Get your free case on us. Miller time.
I celebrate Flag Day privately, so if we could not put that out in the world, thank you.
Well, Paul, we're almost at an hour and a half, and we've just been on a tangent of many a thing.
Yeah, we've been kind of yelling a little bit.
But you know, that's what we do here. That's what we do here, and we're glad that people listen. And like, you know, if you made it this far, we appreciate you.
I really do. And to kind of end this on more of a positive note, I get involved with matches, and I want to put on matches. Number one, because I want to go to matches to shoot. And if you want to do these things, you have to get involved.
Yep.
Because otherwise they just kind of cease to exist.
Look,
there's kind of the base level aspect of it, which is like we need people to show up, not even to just shoot, but just like have people that kind of like want to come and enjoy these things. So for many of the people that listen to this, like I appreciate every one of you that goes to a match, whether it's ones that we shoot or ones that we don't know about. But like just by showing up, I think that you're lapping people on the couch. You're the 1% of the 1%.
Was I amped up and just dying to shoot IDPA? Absolutely not. But did I want to go out there and make sure that like my gun range, my local range, didn't just fall on its face and shit the bed at this? No, I didn't want to see that happen. I want to see my gun range keep getting bigger and better.
Yep.
So I threw my time out there to help out and do what I could and made sure things, I wasn't there just to oversee it. I wanted to just participate and let them do their thing.
Yep.
I couldn't stand back any longer when I seen them fumbling with the tablet. Like, okay, come here, buddy. Jamie's here for you. Let me help you with that.
Let me help you out. And to those people where it's like, hey, I don't know if I could be an RO, or I don't think that I have kind of the skills, or whatever it is. Like even just running a tablet is a huge deal at matches.
Oh, it's huge. Even if you push the timer button for me and just say, "Are you ready? Stand by." That helps the guy out with the tablet. That's one last thing.
Yeah. And like the scoring aspect and things like that, like especially at like kind of some of these smaller matches and things, like don't worry about it. Or if you get something wrong, hey, I'm really sorry about that, man. Like, let me correct this in the tablet for you. But I really do think that, on kind of a more positive note here, have we gone to a match in the last 5 years that hasn't sold out?
No.
I mean, it's like from a shooting standpoint, like I think that matches are like bigger and better than they've maybe ever been,
Oh yeah.
and they have more participants, which is great. And I think people are just taking it more seriously, which is also really, really cool to see. But everything that we've talked about in this episode today is not bitching without solutions.
No.
It is, hey, if you want to do these things, matches, you have to be prepared for eventualities that might occur when it comes to just putting on events in general.
Right.
And the reason why I think it's important to talk about that is so then they can get better. And hopefully people take that to heart rather than, throwing their hands up defensively and saying, if you think you can do a better job, then you do it, which is fine. I think that we can do a better job, which is why we're going to do our own pistol thing here.
Mm-hmm.
But like, it takes people getting involved who really, really care. And in a lot of cases, there are a lot of match directors or just solo individuals who are out there who maybe, I don't want to say don't know how to ask for help, but don't think that anybody will help. And having somebody reach out and say, hey, is there any way that I could help out with, maybe even if it's just like servering the food over lunch, or what about setup? Saw that we have this thing coming, could I show up an hour early and help with setup?
Yeah.
Hey, I'm not really familiar with practice score, but I'd like to learn a little bit more and then maybe help out with the tablets. It's the little things. I have a kind of a sign on my desk at work where it just says, people like people who try, even if it's not perfect.
You got to
even if you're not the best, even if you're not the prettiest girl at prom or whatever it is, people like people who try. And even if you're not the best, if you're the hardest worker, if you show up on time, people will always be appreciative of that.
I will. It's like the great words of C.T. Fletcher. You gave up before you even tried, you punk ass motherfucker.
Damn. That is a punk ass bitch right there.
That is a C.T. Fletcher quote.
Is that from The Wire?
No. No, it's not from The Wire. I just wanted to give some love to all our listeners real quick here, Paul, before we end this, because we're almost at the hour 30 mark, and I think that's a good time to, because
we can put a T on this one.
I'd like to thank all 68 Spotify followers. We appreciate you guys very much. You are the best. And you are, we're doing numbies, Paul. Not really. We're not big time, but we're getting there. And I still honestly can't believe people listen to me and you ramble. I would listen to you. I would listen to you talk all day, but like myself, I'm like, shut this guy up. Like, what is he doing?
No, but I've learned more about wrestling against my will in the past year and a half than I ever did in the other 30 years that I've been alive.
There you go. So all 68 Spotify followers, we very much appreciate you guys, especially listening to the latest episode since we've come back from our break. I don't know how many are on Apple because I don't log into that because I am a Android kind of guy. And all 101 subscribers to the Shooter Are You Ready podcast YouTube channel. Thank you guys very much. You are the best. And now we're going to get down to the nitty gritty. To the people in Portland, Dallas, Houston, New Orleans, Milwaukee, Detroit, New York City, we'll say Albany, and anybody near St. Mary's or Brookville in Pennsylvania, thank you for listening in the past week. Yes, I am keeping track of all of you, and I know where you're at. Not really, but this app kind of just shows me in the last 7 days where people have been listening.
He's going to show up to your house.
We can't thank you guys enough. Very much appreciated. And Paul, truly, we are 100% on the mobile device last week. Actually,
nobody listens on desktop?
They might watch. But this was just in the last 7 days. In the last 7 days last week, as I was just bashing the iPhone people, 80% of them people last week were listening on the iPhone, and we thank you.
If you are listening to us in your car right now, find a red Toyota and drive into it. Drive your car into that red Toyota right now. Hit them with your car. Hit the red Toyota now. Drive them off the road.
This is our lifelong listening here. 53% Spotify, 34% Apple Podcast, 11.5% of other Apple apps. So let's get them Spotify numbers up.
I don't even know
Let's
how
let
that's
these
possible.
Apple people know that we're better than them. Or, you know, either way, we appreciate you.
Listen wherever you want. Tell a friend, tell a homie, tell a ammo.
There you go. That's the best ammo you can find right now. Thank you guys for listening. Again, you know, I'm not going to sit here and keep kissing ass, but we do greatly appreciate all of you for watching, listening, sharing. If you have any questions, comments, concerns in the field, please hit us up in the comments on Spotify, Apple. Well, I guess if you hit me up on Apple, I'm not going to see it. Leave us a comment either way, some way or another. Hit up the email if you need to. Let us know what you're thinking, what you want to hear, what you love hearing. And we appreciate you guys, and we love
read
you.
everything.
Most of it.
I love you.
Bye-bye. Have a good one. We'll see you guys in the next one.
Shooter ready.
Yep.
Shooter ready. Stand by.
Shooter ready.
Stand by.
Shooter, are you ready? Stand by. Shooter ready. Stand by.